بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا وبعد. Inshallah, we are continuing on the topic of Sifat al-Wudu, the description of ablution. And we stopped at the washing of the hands up to the elbows 3 times. And the Shaykh proceeded, he said that ويمسح رأسه من مقدم رأسه إلى قفاه بيديه ثم يعيدهما إلى المحل الذي بدأ منه مرة واحدة ثم يدخل سباحتيه في سماخي أذنيه ويمسح بإبهاميه ظاهرهما ثم يغسل رجليه مع الكعبين ثلاثا هذا أكمل الوضوء الذي فعله النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم، والفرض من ذلك أن يغسل مرة واحدة وأن يرتبها على ما ذكره الله تعالى من قوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين وألا يفصل بينها بفاصل طويل عرفا بحيث لا ينبني بعضه على بعض وكذا كل ما اشترطت له الموالاة. So this is the only part of the description of ablution, and the Shaykh says that the next part that we have to wash after the washing of the hands up to the elbow 3 times is the wiping our hands over the head, for us to pass our wet hands on our head. And this should be done from the front part of the head and should then move to the back part of the head. That is, we have to start the wiping of the head from the front, where the hair started from the forelock. Then we'll take it backwards, where the hairs end. So this is the way to wash it. Just the way Uthman ibn Affan is narrating to us how the Prophet performed this ablution. Uthman said that فَمَسَحَ بِرَأْسِهِ in Sahih Bukhari فَمَسَحَ بِرَأْسِهِ فَأَقْبَلَ بِيَدَيْهِ وَأَدْبَرَ. That the Prophet, he washed his head, he wiped over his head, moving his hands forwards and backwards. So you start from the front hand side of the head, from the front of the head, then you take it backward, then you now bring it forward. This is the right way to wash the head, and this should be done once. It should be done once and not 3 times, in contrary to the rest parts that we've explained before now, that is the hands, the face, and the palms. So this should be done once. Then after that, then ثم يدخل سباحتيه في سماخي أذنيه. Then you have to put your fingers, your index fingers, into your ear to wash the ear. Then you put your thumb at the outer part of the ear. That is, after the washing of the head, then one needs not to take a new water to wash the ear. So the water that you used in wiping over your head, you can also use that to wipe or to wash the ear, by using the index finger to wash the inner part of the ear and using the thumb to wash the outer part of the ear. So this is the right way to wipe over the hair. And after that, ثم يغسل رجليه مع الكعبين ثلاثة. Then you have to wash your leg up to the elbows, and this should be done 3 times. That is the washing of the leg up to the elbow, the ankle. Sorry, it should be done 3 times, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala narrated to us in Surah Al-Ma'idah, that is verse 6, where He said that وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ إِلَى الْكَعْبَيْنِ, and you should wash your leg up to the ankles. So this should be done, but we should be careful in washing over the legs. Some people might be oblivion in washing their legs, in which there can be some lump of flesh that water might not touch during the course of washing the leg. So the Prophet has commanded us to be careful in washing the legs. As it is mentioned that there was a time where the Prophet ﷺ was going out with the Sahaba on a journey, and the Prophet was at the back of the group of the Sahaba. So when the Prophet met his Sahaba and they were performing ablution for Salat, so the Prophet met them while the Sahaba were washing their legs. So the Prophet now saw that some of them did not wash their leg properly, the way they're supposed to wash it. Then the Prophet now said to them that وَيْلٌ لِلْأَعْقَابِ مِنَ النَّارِ, that you should save your heels from the hellfire, save your legs from the hellfire. That is, you should wash your leg thoroughly, wash it very well, twice or 3 times. So this is telling us that we need to be careful while washing the legs, because there might be some place that water might not touch during the washing of the legs up to the ankles. Then after the washing of the legs 3 times, the Sheikh now says that هذا أكمل الوضوء الذي فعله النبي. That is, this is a complete ablution in which the Prophet ﷺ he performed. And after the end of the washing of the legs, one is to say some adhkar after the end of the washing. And this adhkar is mentioned in Sahih al-Bukhari, where the Prophet said that whosoever perform ablution and he say that Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan abdullahi wa rasuluh, that whosoever should say after the end of his ablution, you say that Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. I testify that there is no one that deserves to be worshipped except Allah, and that Muhammad is his slave and messenger. That after the completion of the ablution, and you say this azkar, that the 8 gates of paradise will be opened to him, and he will enter through whichever one he wishes. So this is a very nice azkar that we need to do during after the completion of our ablution. And there's something that we need to take note of in saying this azkar, in which people are doing it a lot, and it is an act of innovation, in which while saying this azkar, it is not right for us to take our hands up by putting our index finger up while saying this azkar. So there is no any text informing us that we need to raise our index finger up while saying this azkar. No, one just needs to just do the movement of his lips and his tongue while saying this azkar, and that will be okay for him and will suffice. Then the Shaykh proceeded to say that وَالْفَرْضُ مِنْ ذَلِكَ. Now the Shaykh wanted to explain to us the compulsory aspect of ablution, in which we have to summarize before we round off the class today. That the compulsory part of ablution is أَنْ يَغْسِلَ مَرَّةً وَاحِدَةً, that one should wash all these parts that we've mentioned, the hands, the face, the heads and the legs, that one should wash them once. That washing them once is the compulsory part of it. While the second washing or the third washing, all these are classified to be the sunnah. So the first washing is the compulsory washing, while the second and the third washing are classified to be the sunnah part of ablution. And likewise, there's something that we need to understand, that while we are washing the parts of ablution, that it is not right for us to be saying some azkar. Some people might target that while we are washing our hands or while washing the face, there are some prescribed azkar that we have to say while washing them. No, there is no any text from the hadith informing us that there are some azkar that we need to mention or to say while washing these parts. And the Shaykh now says that وَأَنْ يُرَتِّبَهَا عَلَى مَا ذَكَرَهُ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى فِي قَوْلِهِ, that while washing all these parts of ablution, that you should arrange them according to how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has arranged them in the Quran. So Allah started the arrangement of the washing of the parts of ablution with the face. So after the washing of the face, then comes the hands up to the elbows, then the head, and then the legs up to the ankles. So we have to also arrange it, and not to precede one over the other, or to do it according to our own wishes, no. But according to how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has arranged, that is the same way we have to do that. Then Al-Shaykh now ended the statement by saying, وَأَلَّا يَفْسَلَ بَيْنَهَا بِفَاصِلٍ طَوِيلٍ عَوْفَةٍ, that one should not also separate a long distance during the washing of the parts of ablution. Maybe, for example, after one should wash the hands, so he now delay the washing of the head now, or after the washing of the face, one now delayed the washing of the hands till the face got dried. So we call it al-muwalat. One must do what they call sequence. Al-muwalat. Sequence must be there during the course of washing the parts of ablution, in which you not the part that you've washed should not get dried before you wash the next part. If such should happen, then one will need to start the ablution afresh, because such has terminated his ablution. But there are some reasons when one can do where some part of ablution can get dried before you wash the next part. For example, maybe if there is a severe breeze, maybe after the washing of the hands, then one needs to wash the head. But there's a severe breeze blowing at that time of performing ablution. Then this breeze now gets the hands dried. Then there's no blame on this, because it is an extra natural affairs that occurred. So one need not to start the ablution afresh because the hands has got dried. Or for example, again, let's say if someone is performing ablution, then after the washing of the face, then the person needs to wash his hands, but he now discover that there is something on his hand that he needs to remove, maybe like gum that has stick to his hand. So during the course of removing that object that has stick to his hand, the washing of the face has got dried. Then such a person need not to start his ablution afresh. Even after the face has got dried, he should continue his ablution. But without any reason for you to just delay the washing of the next part until the former part that you've washed got dried, then one will need to start his ablution afresh. So all these are what we should take note of during the course of performing ablution. And the compulsory part of ablution, as we mentioned here, I say that the compulsory part of ablution, as you can see, one is the washing of the face, it's compulsory. 2 is washing of the hands to the elbow. Then 3 is wiping of the head. 4 is washing of the leg to the ankle. Then move to the ankle. Then we have 5, the orderliness, that is at-tartib, in washing the parts of the ablution. So you have to wash the hand first before the washing of the hands, and the washing of the hands should come first before the washing of the head and the legs. So you must arrange them the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done that in the Quran, in Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 6. Then 6 is the sequence, that is, you should wash the next part immediately after you've washed the former part. So the former part that you've washed should not get dried before you wash the next part. All these are the compulsory part of ablution. One may ask, what of intention? Intention is not there. One may ask, yeah, intention is being classified to be the conditions for a correct ablution. Inshallah, we'll come to that. So the sunnah part of ablution is 1 is the siwak, the pako or the brush that you use before performing ablution. 2 is washing of the palm 3 times. Then 3 is washing of the mouth and the nose. 4 is pouring water over the beard. 5 is starting the washing from the right before the left. 6 is washing the parts of ablution more than once. That is, the parts of ablution should be washed 2 times or 3 times. So the highest is 3 times. So if one is to exceed more than 3 times, the Prophet said that such a person has done فَقَدْ أَسَى وَتَعَدَّى وَظَلَمَ. If you should wash the parts of ablution more than 3 times, you've done evil, you've transgressed the limit, and you've also wronged yourself. So it is wrong for us to wash the parts of ablution more than 3. So 3 is the maximum, while 1 is the minimum. 7 is washing the ear. So all these are the sunnah parts of ablution. While the conditions of ablution before your ablution can be classified to be sound and healthy. One is that one must be a Muslim. Two is one must be sensible. He must not be a mad person. Three, the intention that we've mentioned earlier. Four is the availability of clean water. That is, you must use clean water in performing ablution. And the last is the removal of any hindrance from the body. Anything that can prevent water from getting into the skin, like gum or what you have on your body that can prevent water from reaching up to the skin. So all these are the things that we should take note of while performing ablution for us to have a complete and healthy ablution. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us to apply all of this, and may He ease our fears all. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.